Holly Carter has endured a 16-year journey filled with mental challenges, dedicating her life to the sport she loves to accomplish her goal of becoming a collegiate gymnast.
I think I knew around the age of 7 because my family, growing up in Orange County, we'd go to the UCLA meets, and I just knew watching all the collegiate gymnasts out there that I wanted that to be my future. Getting to watch all their creative floor routines and amazing vaults, I just knew that's where I wanted to be.
I tried to put her into a number of sports, and she just found reasons why she didn't like the other sports. Ice skating was too cold, karate was too strenuous. Soccer, the coach actually told me she was doing too many cartwheels and the other kids would do cartwheels and she wouldn't, play soccer. So it was just very apparent from a very young age that she loved gymnastics.
While gymnastics is so physically impressive, the ability to overcome mental challenges outweighs the ability to defy gravity.
Some of the hardest mental challenges I faced are just any mental blocks. Some of the hardest ones are series on beam. I just stop after the first skill and wouldn't continue into the second, which is really hard because it's a requirement that you need to compete up in the upper levels. And to work around these, I'd either start learning new skills or I'd just have to realize that what we're doing is for fun and take the stress and the pressure out of the sport and just do the gymnastics for fun because physically I knew I was good enough to do the skills. I just had to get over the mental challenge of knowing I was safe to do the skills. So that just took a lot of numbers on the floor and in places that I felt safe.
Although gymnastics is very individual, it's the team aspect of the sport that Holly adores so much.
I'd say gymnastics, yes, it is an individual sport, but it really is a team sport because without my team, I probably wouldn't have made it this far. They're the ones that keep me going on the tough days, and I feel like we've just created such a good and positive vibe within our group that it keeps all of us motivated and keep on wanting to push forward the rough practices.
She's been such a key role in my life, and that really changed a lot for me. If Holly is I don't want to do my series, just give her a fist bump and she'll do it. And keeping the mood light and not getting too worked up about anything. I can always count on her for that.
Gymnastics has a recruiting process that is much different than other sports in America, and with new NCAA rules, it's even more difficult.
So there's only around 80 Division I, II, and III combined programs in America, whereas other sports have hundreds and thousands. So it just limits your opportunities. The recruiting journey was just a little bit stressful because trying to reach out to so many different coaches, they already had roster spots filled, and then with my grade in particular for the class of 2025, with all of the NCAA changes, they might be limiting rosters, so that makes it really hard for the 25s and the upcoming grades because college coaches aren't sure if they want to sign people or if, what decisions they want to make, which then makes it more stressful on us because then you have to keep on competing, keep on practicing without knowing what your future holds.
University of Wisconsin Stout is the school where Holly will take her talents.
The head coach, KJ, asked if I could do a phone call, so I had a phone call with KJ, and from the minute we had our first conversation, she just seemed like an amazing person, an amazing coach, and just really connected with me and my style of gymnastics. And then she offered for me to come out there and visit Stout. So in November I went out and visited Stout with my mom, and I loved the campus. I loved the coaches and the team aspect. Touring, I just felt such a connection to the girls and the coaches, as well as watching their practice. It just seemed like an amazing vibe and the kind of practices I like to have.
It was such a big deal because she had found her gymnastic home. And here is a kid who, as we've just talked about, worked her entire life doing gymnastics. And it was questionable whether she was going to find someplace where she could continue. And the way she has blossomed now that she has found a home and she is committed has been miraculous.
I can bring to the table strong floor routines, a strong beam routine, and a strong vault. And I also just feel I'm a really try to be positive and cheerful person, so I can just bring my good energy to the team as well as my strong gymnastics, which then can boost up the overall scores of the team at every meet.
For Cronkite News, I'm Luke Carter.